Welcome everybody. Today's stream is on how to mount the cowl. I hope you're getting something out of the live streams and the Mega Tucker builds. Uh, the reason why I'm running late here today is I had to go to Lowe's and I had to buy this dowel. 48 inches, cost me $1. It was 66 cents, but the cashier was bumbling around. He couldn't figure out how to make it work. I said, keep the dollar, and walked out the door. So anyway, cost me $1 for a 1/4 inch. That's all right. I'll have dowels for the rest of my life. I mean, this should build about 100 airplanes. Anyway, we're going to cut off about a 1/2 inch here. Not that I need a 1/2 inch. It's going to be way less than that, but you got to have something to hold on to. I'm going to set this back in the rack. Like I say, I'll have enough cowl material to build 100 airplanes. I also found in my box of wood, I had already molded the bottom block. So what I'm going to do is when I get ready to work on this, I'll take the other one off and weigh this one, and the lightest of the two will go on there. But I think that's probably going to be the lightest. We'll see. Anyway. Now, come on, get back in there. Always a problem. Can anybody explain to me why life is always a problem? Nothing ever goes smooth. There we go. Okay. So, on my cowl mounting, I have my cowl. Yesterday I glued it up and kind of roughed into shape, just hogged it off. But I've glued a aircraft piece of ply. That's a 7-ply piece of 1/8 inch plywood on the nose ring here. The reason being, the way that I mount my cowls, so that it only takes one bolt, is that we're going to drill a hole from the 7-ply ring in the front here, 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to put this pin in it. And for the back, it gets a piece of plywood back here so it can capture the screw, that I can put one screw in the back, so it comes off like such. And it's the lightest, easiest way I found to mount cowls. So let's drill a hole. So the first thing I need to do is tape this on in place where I want it to be, so it's not moving around. I hope you guys are getting something out of this build. I haven't done the push rod video yet for the paid memberships, but I'll get to that today. As I promised, I will do one paid membership video a week, plus one live stream a month. And kind of need to figure out when the live stream is going to be best for everybody. That'll only be visible to paid members, and only paid members will be able to chat on that video. Okay, so I have it taped on, kind of secure. If I had a big clamp, I'd probably do that. So now we're going to take an 1/8 inch drill bit. I hate these things. You can't even read them. I'm going to I'm going to mark it out here. That's the 8th. That's the one I use the most. And we'll get my, what did I do with it? Oh, this is ridiculous. Yep, there it is. Get my $40 electric grill here. Now I've kind of marked out the nose ring, but I couldn't get the ballpoint pen to work on this. So I used a felt tip marker, and it kind of spread. It no good. I mean, it looks kind of funky, but it'll be ground straight. So I have a center line right there, and we're going to come down. I'd say about a 1/4 inch. So now I've drilled through both rings and into the cowl. You have to do it this way because fitment is rather important. Otherwise, the cowl will be shaking and rattling around in it. No good. I did something on this airplane I don't normally do, but I wanted this nose to be extra strong. I put in an F1 all the way to the end, but I use light ply. I'll show you that here in a second. I don't normally put in this former right here, but I did on this one for the simple fact I don't want it's a long ways on this. I don't want these sides to expand and contract. So we're going to place this dowel in here and CA it in. Now this isn't the only way to do it. Randy Smith has a way to do it. You know, you could use a bicycle spoke to do this. I've seen all kind of ways, but this is my way. It works. It worked for 50 years. So you want that dowel sticking out a little more than 1/8 because we're going to sand it flush when I get it all mounted solid. Matter of fact, I pushed it in too far. I need to have the finished edge on the outside. There we go. And then we'll wick some CA in there. That's another thing I do is I harden that dowel up with CA after it's assembled, put together. Hot. Now the only problem is that it's a real tight fit, so you need to bring the next size drill bit up, which is a 9/64, and open that hole up. So we got a 1/64 of an inch slop between the rod and the nose ring. Now you could make that hole a 1/4 inch to make it easy to get back on, but it sure looked goofy when the cowl was put on. Why won't the stupid thing close? There we go. Okay. Okay. Now you'll notice here we have a little bit sticking out, which is not a problem. We will just take the 80 grit and grind that off. So it's flush now. We have just 1/8 of an inch, the exact nose ring. You want as much contact space as you can get, so I'm going to take some 320 and kind of round the edges off. Never have I had a cowl come off using this method. I did have a cowl come off at the Nationals in scale using the stupid magnet system. I should have done it this way. Okay. You know, a lot of times I'll try some idea that somebody's come up with just to see if it'll work, and it's never any good. It's always a problem. All these methods I use are from the 50s, and they work perfect and have worked perfect for years. Okay, so now we're going to line this area with 64th plywood. We're going to line this with 64th plywood, but first I have to excavate 1/8 of an inch out of here and get a piece of plywood mounted down inside there. So I didn't think that out very good. I have a piece of wood that I use for excavating the nose ring. So what I need to do is I need to kind of straighten this up. And I only have my handy jigsaw here. So you get to see me cut a finger off maybe. Oh boy. I did that on camera already. I sliced the crap out of my finger once on camera. It's in the Nobler build. I was straightening something out on a straight edge and I pulled that thing and I hit the edge of my finger and whack off come 1/4 inch. Hey Jack. Like, subscribe, share. Become a paid subscriber. The paid subscriber video will be up today on control ratios and how to lay them out. I was going to do it last night. I just got too tired. Okay. This is the other tab of the now you think, why am I not using light ply? This piece of wood is light ply, but this piece of wood needs to be aircraft plywood because the screw is going to be running in and out of that, and we have a T-nut back here to stabilize it. So use light wood where you can, heavy wood where you need to. So anyway, let's see if we can cut our fingers off. Do not try this at home, kids. I don't like how that cut's coming out. Yeah. Okay. Cut it big and sand it straight, I guess. I can't express enough to you guys watching who don't work with tools. This is extremely dangerous. Don't do it. But I have no choice. Okay, got it close. We'll sand it straight. It would work just like this, but it wouldn't be pleasing to the eye. So we'll sand it straight. I know what I could do for the members. We got those shirts coming out that Marcus Cordelio designed. Anybody doesn't know who he is? He was a prolific poster from Brazil, and he did some designs for T-shirts. And I just found them in my terabyte backup drive. And what I can do for the members of the video site here is give you 30% off. And it'll only be for the members. So if you want that 30% off the t-shirt, I don't make nothing on t-shirts anyway. And I make even less now that Teespring's hosted them. Okay, so I'm gonna put this piece of wood here. We need to cut that off there. Somebody needs to make a pen that writes on wood. I would just give you the shirts if I was printing them anymore, but I'm not. You talk about a nightmare when I did all them shirts. I designed them. I had them printed. I had to handwrite each label. I had to put it in an envelope, take all that shit to the post office, stand in line. Never again will I do that. But it did help Stunt Hangar get the message out. So I think I could post a couple of the pictures that on here. Anyway, so here we have this piece that's going to go here. We're going to have to excavate this out, drop it down 1/8 of an inch so that it lies flat, which is normally not a problem. You know, I just was at Lowe's. I should have got a chisel. And you can't start sanding until it's all, I mean, I've done it either way. It doesn't matter. It just depends on how hard you want to make it on yourself. I definitely wanted to get the dowel today, so I had to go down to Lowe's, and the stupid people are standing in line behind the screen with masks on. Give me a break. Okay, we'll save this for the bell crank tutorial, which I touched on them. I'm also going to explain my theory on why I think bell crank location matters, why I know that tip weight box location matters. It'd be nice to get some more of these little bar clamps too. Okay, let's clean up some of this garbage. People say, it does not matter. Okay, whatever, you put it anywhere you want. All right, so I need to find a knife. There we go. We'll use this one. We'll use a scalpel because it gives a clean cut. We're operating. Now this morning I found a piece of aluminum tube for the liner, but I don't see it laying here. It disappeared. The shop ate it. So I may have to do the aluminum tube insert, or maybe I can use, I have some carbon tube. I'll use the carbon. Which is just a detail to make it look clean. It's not structurally necessary, but it does look much better. Okay, let's excavate that out of there. Looks easy, doesn't it, guys? You know why? Because it is. Okay, this piece gets epoxied on. And the reason being is it takes a lot of abuse. So let's epoxy that on. Too bad I already threw my epoxy mixing station away for this month. Model Aviation magazine, joke. Should have saved it. I didn't realize I was going to mix epoxy this year or this month. I can't believe how many guys like this series. I mean, it gets views like you can't believe. You guys need to be working on your own projects. For God's sake, guys, wipe the glue off. There is no need to carry around extra glue. So we'll wait 5 minutes for this to dry, then we'll go through the mounting process of how I get that mounted onto that. And get the holes to line up. It's not a big deal. Then I'll line it and we'll carve it to shape. I think I can get that done in this video. And then I got to make my members only video on push rod alignment, horn alignment, belt crank location. It's basically controls. I gave a small lecture on ratios the last video about hand movement and control movement, how it correlates. You want the airplane to become an extension of your arm. So we're going to hollow this business out in here. Try to keep a 3/16 wall. Well, you know that was an old piece of wood. 1 inch by 4 by 36, $5.51. That was a SIG piece. Let's do it this way. So all this will be removed in here. So let's, where's my machinist scale? Which is overkill for this project, but I just was using it. If anybody would like to try these rib patterns I drew out yesterday, send me your email address or your mailing address, and I'll drop them in an envelope and send them to you. This will work as good as any for any big stunner. Matter of fact, these ribs look better than most stunters. Anyway, what happened to my scale? Come on, you guys. Oh, there it is. You know where it is. Okay. This thing is 2 7/8. So it's going to be 1 13/16 to the center. For you Common Core math guys, that's 50%. 1 13/16. That Common Core is so stupid. We got a bunch of retards. Okay, this is how wide? Half-inch, quarter. Now, normally I would do this operation on drill press. So I'm going to have to eyeball it and hope for the best. Yeah. So I want that to be an 1/8 inch hole, but I don't want to start out 1/8 inch in case there's a mistake. So we'll start out 16th. We'll put a pilot in there if the drill will hold a 16th. Yep. Holding the drill 90 of the workbench. Perfect. Now we'll drill it out 1/8 inch. Actually, I think 3/32 is a 440, not 8. The 1/8 will have to go in that for the blind nut. 332, 16th and 332, which is this one right here. I'll have to test it to see. You want this hole very snug. Let's see, we got somebody said something here. How did they turn out, Craig? Okay. Now, we're going to put this back on here and transfer the hole. I know it seems like a lot of rigmarole, but if you want a really nice job, this is how you get it. Craig, how did your shoe ribs turn out? Do they look right? Okay. No, that's good. Now, I showed you how to figure. I made a mistake yesterday, and I'll be the first to admit it. Is I forgot to add flaps in that plotting of the CG and the percentages. However, I've built enough of them to know that where I put this CG mark is the correct mark, but the math is wrong. It can be anywhere from here to here within an inch, because you add the flaps and figure the percentage, but it doesn't matter. If the CG is far enough forward, you can always add tail weight or take nose weight out. But as I said, center of gravity is figured off the ribs, not off the airplane. Okay, we got the hole there. And I need a blind nut. There's a blind nut. If I remember right, 1/8 inch drill is the right size for the blind nut flange. Now, you say, well, how is that light ply going to be strong enough? Because, correct, it's 28 to 30% of the wing, including the flap. I forgot about that. But if you put it somewhere behind that high point of the wing, it'll be close. You know, I think I'm going to make a little, I'm going to make a little extra piece of plywood for there. I wonder what I did with that. I don't have a plywood circle. What can I do here? I'm gonna have to open up the door, turn on the air conditioner. It's getting hotter than hell in here. Kind of wanted to hold off and turn the air conditioner on. I guess I can use this basswood to make a little spacer. We'll use the basswood. Blind nuts are 9/64, huh? Okay. We'll give her a whirl. We'll try it here. That's an 1/8 inch hole. Looks like he's right. 9/64. I'm slipping. Thanks. That sure looks big. He's right though. It's 9/64. Okay. All I'm doing here is adding a little backer here for the blind nut to sit in, so that it becomes more durable. And it's basswood, so it's not adding a lot of weight. And if I was slick, I'd have put that in the drill and spun a washer out of it. But we'll just sand it off here, make it look nice. Of course, you won't see it anyway, but well, anybody got any guesses on whether the Nats is going to go over or not? What I hate about it is they're not going to announce whether the Nats are going to continue until June 10th. But the cutoff date for the registration of the Nats is June 1st. And they won't give you your money back if they cancel it. I do not trust the AMA. At least Joe Nall gave me my money back. The last time that they canceled, I let him keep it. And I probably would let him keep it this time because they don't need, I mean, Joe Nall needs the money and AMA don't need it because they got all us idiots paying for nothing. Okay, little washer here for the blind nut to sit on. Little added beef to it. We'll epoxy that all together. Okay. We got 6 likes and 11 viewers right now. Thanks for watching. I just hope you guys get something out of all this effort I put into this stuff. I don't get much feedback on whether it's any good or not. You guys just keep watching. So I assume it's good. John Jordan convinced me into buying a purpose pair of scissors. What a good move that was. These are Westcott titanium scissors. Not real expensive, about $8 at Walmart. They're great for cutting paper and silk span. Otherwise, you end up with your wife's scissors that are like mush. They just don't work. Okay, so now we need a 440 bolt. .440 bolt. Yeah, there's a 256, but I got no blind nut for it. I got the order from Micromark coming in on the 256 size. All this shit is 440. So we'll put this in here like so. We'll use this one. I just need something to hold it up there while it's drying. I don't know if I have any Vaseline or not here. I don't think so. I'll look. No, I don't have no Vaseline, but I got some Neosporin, so we'll try that on the threads. I don't know if that'll work or not, but all that can happen is I have to break it out and do it over. Okay. Grab your t-shirt and wipe off the paint, which I've done. Okay. I'll get this rigmarole going. Now, normally you put Vaseline on the threads, but I don't have any, so this is all I got that's anywhere near what Vaseline is, so we'll see if it works. At least we know it won't get an infection. Okay. These are the pliers that Carl Shoup made for me. They're great for the brass, put lines together. They crimp the brass eyelet on the end. Wonder what he died from. Young guy. Anybody that knew Carl knew that he did something that just like I just did on the video here. I was using the saw, but he unfortunately somehow cut his thumb off, and they sewed his big toe on where his thumb would go. He had determination as well. Okay, so we want, how are we going to do this? I want to glue the nut on to the wood. And I want to glue this on to the other wood. I got no clue if this is going to work. I do have a tap, so in case it screws up. Let's stick that in there. Some forceps. Probably should have used a longer screw. Yep. So I got to use my finger. What a mess. Like I say, Vaseline would have been better. We'll see if it works. It's in there. I guess it worked. And take the extra here and dab it in there. Make sure it's glued in there good. You don't want, certainly don't want that flying out at the contest. Yeah, I think we got it. So we'll wait till it kicks off here and try to screw that screw out. If it comes out without too much problem, I'll run a 440 tap down through the blind nut, clean the threads out. And then we'll mount the cowl. But you can't start sanding until it's all lined. But we'll get that taken care of. Well, it's starting to harden up, so we're going to take that screw out of there. Don't want any catastrophic lockup at this stage of the game. So Neosporin worked. But use Vaseline. Motor oil would probably work too. Anything to lubricate the threads so that the epoxy doesn't stick to them. Crisco, I do have some of that. I could have used that, I suppose. Been thinking about my canopy plug. Going to be making this canopy over John's. And I'm going to have a canopy frame that's vacuum formed into that canopy. And how would I get it to suck down in the center? I already got that figured out. So it ought to be cool. If this airplane flies as good as the XL, I'll probably make another one. Just because it's different. Nobody has a big Tucker. Yeah. I don't even have to chase it. That worked perfect. Wait for this to dry. So now, what I was talking about, aluminum tube, over here, I think I have a piece of push rod somewhere. I did see it over here. Maybe I put it back in the rack. Could have possibly put it back in the rack. Of course not, it's going to be difficult to find because I'm looking for it. If I didn't need it, it'd jump out and bite me. Come on, man. Well, I found some extra wood that I didn't know I had. Okay, where is it? There's the monocoque gun. Drop down back there. Makes you wonder. Well, I can put it together without the tube, and I'll do that. I'll do that later. So now I want to get a long screw, just so I can find the hole. 1 inch anyway. While I was on Micromark's site, or Micro Fastener's site, buying the 256 stuff, I was looking for aluminum screws. They don't offer them anymore, which is a bummer. So now I need to drill a hole down to the plywood. Just lost my damn screw in here. Well, I'll get another one. Nine watchers and 9 likes. That's great. There's my calipers. Ah. I'll probably end up doing the part that I was looking for off camera, but I'll explain to you what I was talking about. In order to make a nice clean hole here, you have to have something to kind of back it up to. Head of this screw is bigger than that. This big, maybe. Yeah. So I have some push rod that's extremely light, but it's pretty good, big around. It's about a 1/4 inch around, and it's thin wall tubing, carbon fiber. It's great for lining screw holes, or you could use aluminum tube. It doesn't matter. Shit, I might need a longer screw, or drill that hole bigger. Yep, that's what it is. The hole's got to be bigger. I just don't want that hole so big it becomes sloppy. So I drilled at 332, so it's got to be 1/8. Yep. Better too small than too big. Maybe. Yep, there we go. That's it. The cowl is mounted. Now I just need to outline it and sand it to shape. Hardest part of the job. Okay. Get rid of that. I'm going to show you the toothpick jack method. Of course, it'll get the toothpick jack method plus the superfill method because I want it perfect. We're not going to second guess this. This airplane's going to come out as good as my Thunderbolt did. I want to get them big points, but here again, you want it to come out nice, and you want it to come out shiny, and you want it to come out, you know, perfect or whatever. At what cost? At what, you know, where are you going to stop? Well, my goal is 58 ounces maximum. I'd like to see 55 ounces. So if I get to 55 and it looks pretty good, I'll probably continue on. But you only got 3 coats of dope to go after that. But if I can get to 55 and it looks real good, stop. There's no need to make it a 20 pointer for the weight gain of 3 ounces. 3 ounces is a killer. It's terrible. Okay, so now let's line this thing up, and then I'll carve it to shape. Like I say, the free form is pretty close to where I wanted it now. Mr. Franco, you'd be proud. Give it a tip tap. Mr. Franco was my woodshop teacher. He had a squirrely eye and everybody teased him, but boy, he was a craftsman. Mr. Lopez was the drafting teacher, and he had a big paddle. And that Mr. Lopez, or let's see, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Franco made Mr. Lopez the paddle. If you got out of line, you got the use of the paddle by Mr. Lopez. Need to bring that back. Let the beatings begin. I'm getting it close, so I know where the 64th plywood needs to go on the cowl. Ooh. We're just releasing the airplane out of this block of wood. I need to order some more of these blades. They're kind of getting dull. You watch that? If you watch that Billy video about him building, I'll be quiet and you can sit back and enjoy the action. Yeah, the excitement of glue drying. But you know, a lot of people, I have a lot of experience doing this. So it does look easy. And it is easy for me. But a lot of people have never seen it done and don't have a clue where to start. So that's why I show it. Remember, there are no mistakes. You can't make a mistake. It's only wood. If you don't like what you did, you can always glue a piece back on and try again. But the trick is to try not to make those mistakes, even though they're small, and eliminate that stuff. A lot of guys struggle with this, and I'm just okay. Ted Fancher is the best cow carver. I know I got a big mess going here. Take little bites. When you get it close, we'll sand it with 80 grit and finish it with 180. That'll be perfect. Yeah, we're going to have to do some toothpick jacking right there, and I'll show you how I do that. Symmetry, that's the hard thing to learn. Carving this up is not a big deal to make it symmetrical. You got to have a decent eye. And does it make your airplane fly different? Well, some would say no, but I say you betcha. If it ain't symmetrical or damn close, it could really add some weird oscillations in the airplane. Have I ever thought of building a twin? Well, I had two VF, what were they, 25s, OS Maxes, and it was all set to build a P-38, and decided to get against it. There's some logical engineering factors behind my thinking on twins, and when I'll talk more about this on control systems. Egerberger, Paul Walker, Derek Barry, all these guys are coming out with trying to reinvent the wheel on these control systems. It's too complicated, it's too much weight, and there's too much to go wrong. The only thing that I personally would agree with is an adjustment that you can adjust the flap movements. But all that exponential. I don't believe you could tell the difference. They say they can, but whatever. Of course, they say they could tell the difference by them little rat droppings on the wings too, which is a total waste of time. Our airplanes don't fly fast enough to produce any type of laminar flow disruption that them little rat turds are supposedly working against. Kenny Stevens had a TV antenna on top of his SB. So well, that's what the racers do to hold them up on the knife edge. Give me a break. That little thing ain't doing shit at 55 mile an hour. But everybody's trying to come up with the latest, greatest thing. And the best thing to have come out of all this technology and all this stuff, and Bob Hunt tries to come up with more goofy stuff, but the best thing to come out of his mind was the lost foam system. And about the time, I didn't know that he was even cutting wings or whatever. I was going to build an X-wing, and I plotted it out, and I laid it out, and it worked. But that's where all the ribs are like egg crate. I got to think, why don't I just cut a foam wing and then trace out the patterns? And that's before I knew about Bob Hunt's foam wing. I never did it, but that goes to show you that all these ideas everybody has is really nothing new. It's because everybody's got about the same idea, but Bob Hunt is the inventor of the lost foam wing system. It is by far the best way to build a wing. I'm not going to build it any other way. I've built, well, except for I-beams. Why do I like I-beams? I-beams are, I'm cleaning up the mess here, guys. I-beam becomes part of the fuselage. The wing is part of the fuselage. It's called a monocoque construction, meaning that every piece that you put on the airplane has a reason for its structural placement. And the strongest thing on an I-beam wing is not the spar. You'd think, well, it's the spar. No, that just holds everything straight. It's the skin. It's the silk span. That's what holds everything together. It's kind of like you're already bagged up. Okay. Let's continue on with this business here. I think I want a little more shape in this nose, so. Okay, I had a piece of, now we can use this right here. I Guess I better get that plywood on there before I get too far into this. I'm just getting excited to see what it looks like. So let's bring it down some more. Yep, I'm seeing people driving around with their masks on. Are they going to give it to themselves? In the car with the windows rolled up with a mask on. Give me a break. Yesterday there was a couple women walking in the parking lot there, and they had their masks on, and this is stupid. Did you know that they cured pneumonia and the flu in 2020? There's no more cases. Okay, let's grind this off, see what it looks like. Nope, it's too much. I'll use some more wood removal tools. Okay. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah. Yeah, maybe the cars won't catch it. Okay, we brought it down pretty close. Let's do the other side. It's a scam. It's a total scam. It was a way to dump the economy. Damn. You can't push on it like metal because it's balsa. Oh well. I'm gonna finish this cowl today. That way I can move on to some of the other things I need to finish. Well, we're gonna do the controls today in the wing, and I need to get ready to start setting it up to be put together so I can get started finishing. The finish sanding is what takes the longest, not this. You know, this. It's kind of like you ever watch. When I was younger, I framed 30 houses in a summer. Worked on a crew that we framed up 30 houses. Framing part was the easy part. Then finish guys came in. That's the drywall, the plumbing, framing. We could knock it together in a couple of days. That's basically what you got going on when you build an airplane like this. We're just roughing it. It's the finish work that takes the time. Why did that blade go crooked, or did it? Oh. Maybe it's time for a new blade. Oh, be careful. Okay. I want to get it roughed in. We'll go to the lining of the cowl. Oh well. Yep, shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Need to get a weight on this cowl because it was at 2 ounces. It might be. We've added some plywood and stuff. It might be a little bit more, but it's going to have to get down to a 1/2 ounce. 1/2 ounce, and then when you put the fiberglass cloth on it and the Z-epoxy inside, they usually end up anywhere between 3/4 and 1 ounce finished, painted. And if it's heavier than that, you're building too heavy. This will be completely round all the way around here. It's got a flat spot in it now, but when it's done, it'll be completely round. I'll put a center line on this and keep sanding until I get it round. That's for best aesthetics. Okay, well, I got a little bit of here. Let me finish this off, and then we'll take a look at it, see what it looks like. And then I will go to the lining. Oh, man. Come on, guys. This is a membership drive video. Down by the subscribe button, there's a join button. Hit that. And get some extra content today. Into the mind of Sparky. Yeah, give me. Okay, stand back and then see if that's the shape you want, and if not, you got to change it now. You can't wait. I mean, I think John said it best. If you're changing the shape after it's covered, it's too late. Let's see. Let me look at it on screen here. Yeah, it don't look bad. I'd like to have more. Maybe in here. We'll get some more. can't really finish this off until you got the motor back in it to match the spinner, but we'll get it close. I pretty much know what it takes. I built enough airplanes to know where it's going to end up. Now, if you look at this, if you were here to look at it, you can see that I've sanded a shape, an egg into it. So now I got to do the exact same thing on the other side to make it symmetrical. It's got an airfoil on it now. So glow plugs here, heads here. Yeah. It'll be fine. And if not, I'd have to make some more, make another cowl, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. This goofy thing, come on. There we go. Oh man, coughing. That's that dry cough. Ah, I'm dying. You guys need to be with me, sanding wood. They really be hacking. Okay, let's start lining it. And then I can finish the shape. Looks pretty good. That looks about right. In this particular shot here, this angle, you can see the flats. This all has to come round. So I'll be sanding all this up, and you got to get all this done before you start hollowing it out. So what I normally do is I get it close. I would say within anywhere between an 1/8 and 3/32 thick. And then I start hollowing. Let's see here, make sure that that's out. Yep, that's out. If you look at this, you could see the 3 degrees motor offset that I got in it. So now, get my 3/32 or 64th ply. Now I'm going to do something probably sacrilegious to some guys. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it the right way. Cut some 3/8 strips and go around it. But normally I just put a full sheet in there and then grind out what's inside. But seeing that this stuff is now $50 a sheet, I guess I'll try to conserve. Come on. Not having any room to work is a big hindrance. It's unreal. Kind of reminds me of at work, working with sticks and rocks on the ground. Well, scalpel blade's already busted. Ain't worth a shit for doing this. They're sharp, but you can't do that. Okay, let's see what somebody else said here. How do I work out the offset? Protractor. Pretty simple. Protractor. But I'll give you a little speed tip. If you measure your motor width and add 3/32 of an inch, set your motor down in it and cock it in the direction of outboard, that's pretty close to 3 degrees after doing it a bunch of times. Motor offset is your friend, especially in the wind and on overheads. These guys with zero motor offset, they're on their knees on the overheads. Fitzgerald. Okay, how do I want to do this? See, like I say, normally I cut this piece in one piece so that it, and you know what, I think I'll just do that anyway. We use these on the cowl. So that it glues all this business together. Is that what I want to do? Sure wastes a lot of wood, but sure makes a nicer job. What do we want? Save $1 worth of wood and have a crappy airplane, or don't be cheap. Okay, I gave it. Cut a little too wide. And if you're off just a pen's width, it screws things up. But better too big than too small. You can always add on or cut off, but it's hard to add on. Okay. Okay, let's see how that works. Let's see. We shall see how close it is. Pretty damn close. Must have did my job right. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that pretty much covers it. It pretty much covers it. Okay, so that goes there. Let's get the hole drilled in it. Man, a lot of hole drilling today. Jeez. Well, shoot, I gotta push the wire, the bolt out of there. Okay, I found that aluminum plug, that aluminum tube right here. That we'll use. I could use the carbon, but smaller is better, so we'll use this. Smaller is better. Okie dokie. All right. Now, we're going to use thickset CA to glue this on with. Six watchers. I guess you guys got bored with making a cowl. Come on, get in there. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can do that. This all gets cut away anyway, so. We'll just add a piece in there. 7 watchers. Okay. Now, take a drink of soda. The amount of time this stuff takes is amazing. Let's see how long we've been on. Two hours. Shoot. Oh, come on now. We're running an excellent connection, it says, so that's good. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Let's see how it looks, where the gaps are. When I add this wood here. Perfect. Perfecto. Yep, it'll be perfect. So I'm happy with that. Perfect is good. So now I want to line all these the exhaust area and the rest of the cowl. I think I'm going to have to cut another big piece because I'm not going to be happy. I don't want to piece it together. I want it all in one piece. Just can't deal with second best. Remember, this is your the airplane you're building is for you. You don't have to please anybody but yourself. We've been on 2 hours. You guys want me to keep going or what? Where's my little stick? This little detail here that I'm doing, lining the cowl with 64th plywood, is the difference between an oh-so-ran and an outstanding model. So it's your decision. It's the stuff is quite pricey. I've seen it go anywhere from $28 to $50 a sheet, and you don't get much for $50. I mean, you could buy real plywood a lot cheaper. Come on. I see what the deal is. So it goes like that. I need to take this off and cut this back. Didn't like that. Didn't want to sit down on there perfect. So we'll make it perfect. Why? I just cut a new piece. Act like an idiot? No problem. I'm gonna get this cowl done today. That's the goal. Cowl done and the controls in the wing. So the paid subscriber video will be fulfilled today. I'm going to deliver exactly what I said I would. There we go. Much better. Didn't want to act right. I don't like that either. It's not really wide enough to get a nice arc on it. So let's do this. We have this piece that's not quite right, so I can use that. There we go. There we go. I would rather sand the shape in instead of try to cut it at this particular time, just so it looks nice. Time for new blade. Now I talked about the toothpick jack. The toothpick jack comes on the cowl. And then of course I also use the superfill trick. And normally I don't even use the toothpick jack, I just use the superfill trick. But I want to keep the weight down, so we'll toothpick jack it. Okay. 2 more pieces. And then the outside of the fuselage is Is this a marathon? Well, I don't know. I'm going to get it done today. Can always replay it. I might take a break here after they get this bottom piece on. I need to eat lunch. I'm starting to get hungry. I need a sandwich. Oh, there we are. Fish. Right in front of my face. I guess it'd probably be better to grind it off with the Dremel. I think once I get this ground off, I'm going to take a lunch break, and I'll do the paid subscriber video, and after that, come back with the finalization of this. All done. Let's see if it fits. Might have to adjust the fitment of it. Yeah. Gonna have to take a little off the edge of there. Probably a little here. Yeah, gonna be a little there. It will be perfect though. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, become a paid member, and see the belt crank geometry video. And following perks, I'm going to be doing the belt crank install and the horns. So, appreciate you watching. Pass the word. See you in a couple hours. See ya.